Hello, today we are doing the support machine from Hack the Box. It's a Windows machine and it's recommended in the TJNull list to prepare for the OSCP. So let's get started. As always, we start with a port scan and I'm using auto recon with the recursive flag to perform recursive directory enumeration. Since port scanning takes some time, I already run it before and we can have a look at the results. To do so, I'm starting a Python HTTP server in our current directory. And then we can browse the results easily in our web browser. We found many open ports and we see that port 88 is open, which is for Kerberos, so it means we are dealing with a domain controller here. We can also see we found SMB port 139 and we can have a look at the enum for Linux scan. And we can see here the domain name and also the computer name DC. So let's add this to our hosts file. We can check the results of SMB client and we found some shares. And there is one non-default share support tools. So let's have a look at this. We can use our favorite SMB client and I'm using the one from Impacket and I'm trying to connect as guest. I can see the shares. And there are many files. Let's download them all. So we can have now a closer look at all these files. And there's one file in particular that sounds interesting. And it's userinfo.exe.zip. So let's start with this one. We see there's a config file. So let's check this. Looks like it's some config for a .NET application. Let's check the userinfo.exe. And we can see it's a .NET binary. We can try to reverse engineer this exe file with a .NET decompiler. For Linux, we can use this tool. You can find it on GitHub. And we can see there are many different front ends available. And there's also one available for Visual Studio Code. So we can install a plugin in our Visual Studio Code and simply decompile the application. As you can see, the plugin is already installed on my machine. We need to press Ctrl-Shift-P and select Pick Assembly. We choose our exe file. And now we can see here a bunch of information. So we can click on user info and we find here different classes. We see there are two commands, find user and get user. And there's also user info services. And we can see there's LDAP query So in this LDAP query function, we see the authentication is done with the username LDAP, and a password is provided, which is returned by this function. And we can see an encrypted password is loaded, decrypted, and returned. And when we click on protected, we can see the encrypted password is this string. And this is the key to decrypt this string. So we just need to run this and we get the password, and we have most likely our first credential pair to authenticate with the domain controller. We can copy this now, convert it to Python, and we get the clear text password. And for writing this script, I'm just asking Gemini. I copy the code. And we have the decrypted password. And we can now use netexec and see if we can authenticate with the LDAP service. I'm using the LDAP username and our decrypted password. And we can see the credentials are valid. We can verify that the credentials are correct by also submitting a wrong password, and we see here that these are not working. We can check if we have WinRM access, and we try directly with evil WinRM. It looks like we don't have WinRM access. So let's print out all the available users we can query from LDAP. And we get a lot of usernames back. For more LDAP enumeration, we can use LDAP search. We provide our user, the password, the domain, and the IP address. And we get a lot of information back. We get one user back, which is called support, and it has the info field. And the description in here sounds like it could be a password. So we can try to authenticate with the support username and this password. And let's check WinRM access with evil WinRM. And I used the wrong IP, and we have access. And we can see the user flag on the desktop. We can check our privileges, but nothing interesting here. And when we look at the groups, it could be that the shared support accounts group could be interesting. Once we have access to the machine, we can perform local enumeration. Either we use automated tools like WinPeace or manual enumeration. In this case, we will not find anything useful. So we can check for active directory attacks, for example, for ASREP roasting, curb roasting, or we perform Bloodhound enumeration. And we continue with Bloodhound enumeration. I'm using the community edition. We want to collect all information. We provide the domain name, user, IP address, and password. We start Bloodhound. we import the data. And we can check now the permissions for the credentials we have. Let's start with LDAP. We can mark it as owned. And we see we don't have any outbound object control. Let's check the support user. We mark it as owned. And we check the outbound object control. And we see support is member of the group shared support accounts, and this group has generic all permissions for the domain controller. And generic all means this group has full control over this object. We can click on the group. We can check the description, and again it says we have full control and can manipulate the target however we want. And we can perform a resource-based constraint delegation. And for this attack, we need to perform multiple steps. First, we create a new computer that we fully control. In the second step, we need to configure that our fake computer we just created can delegate to our target, which in this case is the domain controller. Then we can create a ticket and impersonate an administrator. And we can use then this ticket to log into the domain controller as domain admin. So we start with adding a new computer and we use impacket. We specify the domain controller IP. For the password, I'm just using password 123 and we call this new computer evil PC. We give it our credentials and it was successful. In the second step, we perform the delegation configuration. We want to delegate to the domain controller, and from our evil PC we just created, we specify the domain controller IP and our credentials. And this was successful too. And now we create the ticket. We specify the evil PC with the password and we specify the SPN for the domain controller, and we want to impersonate the administrator. And we also provide the domain controller IP. And the ticket was saved in this file, and we can export this file now, and we can log in with WMI. We specify -K for Kerberos authentication, no password. We log in as administrator on the domain controller and we provide the IP address. And we are logged in as administrator. And we can see the root flag. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.